Hey there, Internet. Keev here, and welcome to the CARSWITHKEAV YouTube channel. And you see about a smile on my face, we are finally reviewing what could be now the ultimate foam cannon on the market, the MJJC Pro V3. After the issues with the bottle on the first one, they kind of stopped selling them until they got the bottle fixed. And it took 6 months. Obviously, it comes packaged like this, just the way the first one came around. Everything is nice and snug in here. And lo and behold, the one I ordered is the original bottle. Now I thought to myself when I first got the package, because I bought 2 empty bottles and I bought the main foam cannon, and the box showed up with 4 boxes. And I'm like, where did this extra bottle come from? Did they send me an extra one? But what I realized is 3 of the boxes were the empty bottles themselves. And they still had a ton of stock of the old bottle in the box. And then they give you another box to replace the one that's in there. So you actually get 2 bottles for a limited time until that stock runs out, and then they can package them together. I'm willing to bet they got quite a few of these because they didn't sell too many of them after the drop heard around the world there for a while. But I figure we have one of the original bottles here. Let's see what it's made of. I never thought I'd be able to touch one of these bottles again to see if it can shatter on first try again. Let's find out. Just like the first video. Golly. And now you see, yes, at the beginning of the video, we had to do it. We had to prove how fragile this bottle is. 3 bottles, 3 first drop empties, shattered. Many people commenting, Josh V's just fell off the table at like 3 foot, crack. So one thing I do want to say is people have asked this question is, are they going to replace all of the old bottles? No, they're not. As far as I know, I asked them. But if yours did get damaged and you haven't already reached out to them, they will replace the bottle. At least that's what they said. And you can use code CARSWITHKEAV to save you 10%. I do have commission. There'll be a link below. Hopefully the last one didn't sell anything. I had bought 2 full ones and they didn't pay for themselves. Hopefully this time around we could pay for the old ones and the new ones. And they changed multiple things on these bottles. No longer requires O-rings at the top, which is nice. It's a different type of plastic. It's PP plastic.
Billy peed his pants.
Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest.
So it's a little bit more flexible, but it's still in areas around the handle here. You can tell it's a little bit thicker, but it's still flexible. See that? That's going to absorb some impact. It's a clear bottle with a ghosted paint job on it. Now, when they ship you the empty bottle, whether you're replacing one that was broken, whether it came with a brand new one that you ordered, or you're just ordering an empty bottle, you're going to get that bottle like this, all wrapped up in plastic. Little Butterfingers wants to drop it. You get it just like that. And then it's going to come with 2 of these O-rings. And this is probably going to be just for the ones that come like this with the old style bottle. Once they get into the new production, they'll probably already be in here. Comes with your flexible straw, which are normally always cut to the perfect length. Comes with your weighted ball here at the bottom. Comes with extra sandwich filters. I took the 1.1 out of here and put it in one of these for the testing, but it comes with a 1.1, a 1.35, and a 1.25. 1.25 is installed out of the box, and you have the 1.1 and 1.35 in here. Then you have your M22 connection for your quick connect here. And that also comes with some extra O-rings. That's for the inside of here. As you can see, the 1.25 is already installed in there, but it is brass. This is stainless steel, and the M22 is stainless and brass. But one thing I want to note is their orifices are the most accurate on the market. I could care less if it's brass, if it's accurate. Measured all 3 of them dead on within 0.05 millimeters. Like, they're always dead on. So when you install this little gasket here, you want to do it before you install a straw, if you're doing it that way. You just want to put it in there. And it doesn't fit in perfectly the first time. You're going to need a small flathead screwdriver or a pick to kind of guide it in there. Nice and snug in there. You seat this, since this doesn't have the O-rings for the seal here anymore, it just gives it that little bit of pressure at the top to get a nice, smooth, quick connect and make sure that seal stays good here and stays leak proof at the top. So we have our suction tube. We're going to throw that on there. You just Put it over that barb that's in there. Sorry, I didn't show you this up close. But this, in these bottles, always the right length. This, I'm telling you, these are the details that you don't get in the cheap foam cannons. Then in the end, this screws on the back and you are ready to go out the box. Back here, nice tension there. Up front, this has some pretty decent tension. It moves maybe a little bit looser than I would want. And all MJJCs have always kind of been like that, but it's not loose. It's kind of in between. That is my only complaint about this other than the price. Now this is for those people who want. This is not a need. These people who want. And if you have the expendable income, you have the money, and you want to buy one of these, so be it. Go right ahead. If you don't, there are plenty of options on the market, like the Ryobi, that's going to give you very close to the same performance, just doesn't have that fit and finish. So now what you've all been waiting for, let's test and drop this. Before we get to that, check the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to use that code CARSWITHKEAV as a discount. Let's have some fun. So we have all three of our setup here, 1.1, 1.25, and 1.45. We have just enough incredible suds, great, amazing cleaning soap from DIY Detail. Code CARSWITHKEAV will save you 10% at the House of Rags or DIY Detail. Or if you want to get for Car Supplies Warehouse, code KEAV10 will save you 10% there as well. I use it in every video, used it in the last video with these. So that's what we're going to use. That's our bar for our foaming. As you see there in the corner, I've been testing the active wall mount system that has the 2.3 up there now. So we'll start with the 1.45 on the active 2.3. We'll make sure that it's amp wise is good, which it should be. And then we'll switch out to the active 2.0. We'll move to the 1.25, make sure it's safe on amps. Then we'll switch, we'll put the Ryobi 1800 up there because that's going to be the majority of your cheaper pressure washers, your 1.2 gallon per minute machines, Karchers, Greenworks, Sunjoes, those. If you're special enough to have a Ryobi automotive because you can't find one anywhere, use the 1.25 with that. Have our Flexilla hose for that. We're using our Ely Quick Connects to make it all work nice and easy. Let's get to it. All right. So this thing's actually been quite good. There'll be a video out at probably the next video after this one releases because it's right near their launch date. Now I do have it kind of weird setup. See, it's hitting my electrical cable over there because there's nothing, this isn't a dedicated outlet. I don't have any water over here, so I had to bring it over here, but this is the best area I had to kind of test this the way that it probably should be tested. Now, a lot of people ask, can you use a 1.35? Because it comes with one. Why would it come with a 1.35 if I can't use it? Well, the 1.35 really truly is something that you would use with a Krensla, an AR630 V2, an active 2.0 to get it a little bit down on amps, maybe get a little bit quieter. Those 1.35 on an active 2.3 is it's too small. It'll cause it to sit in the 16.5, 17 amp range. It's too much. But let's see. I'm gonna do this without the top. See what the amps are. 13.5. Perfect. Yeah. That's why you get an MJJC. 1.45 on an active 2.3. All right, so we have the 1.25 here. This is very close to the upper end of what you would want for the active 2.0 in the 14s, but it usually always stays below the 14s. And like I said in the original video, this quick connect is butter. It's butter.
Was like butter.
Like butter.
Like a big stick of butter.
It's just, we're so much dealing with the breakage that all of that was overshadowed. So let's check the amps here. 14.52, and that's at 115 volts. So that's on the kind of the middle of the lower end. If you had 120 volt, you would probably be under 14. Yeah, it's the same as the active 2.3 with a 1.45. If you saw right here, it did this little skip, but I didn't get all of the air out of the hose when I made the switch over there. That's my fault. But man, I'll just to make sure show you. Nice and smooth. There was no pulse there. That was my fault. I kind of forget. I've been loving that Ryobi for so long, and I still love it because it's the best value out there, period. I may have to use these. I mean, I bought them, I paid for them, might as well. Game on.
Game on! Game on! He shoots, he scores!
Oh, we have the 1.1 here, and this was used in the durability testing. So this one is damaged, but it still works. And the only thing that you're gonna have a problem with is if you do turn it upside down, is now a leaking MJJC. So let's try this out. You see, just as thick as the other ones. That's what the 1.1 does great on the Ryobi. But what I'm saying is about this MJJC, the tightness of the dimpling, how small the dimples are compared to other foam cannons. It's like tighter, but you still had to go a little bit slower because obviously less flow, there's less foam coming out. You have to go a little bit slower to get the same kind of coverage. I'm gonna have to clear this off because I want to go ahead and use the 1800 with a 1.25 just to show you, you don't need a 1.1 with an MJJC. Here's the 1.25, and I about guarantee you could use the 1.35 that came with this in the Active 2.0 and get amazingly good foaming results. I'm not gonna go that far, but this 1.25 is gonna do well on the Ryobi. Tell me you need a 1.1 with a Ryobi when you're running an MJJC. You don't. You just don't. And that 1.25 is gonna get a little bit more flow. I think it covers a little bit faster. But I mean, you can't really tell much of a difference between the two, but at least that way you wouldn't have to switch them out. You can just leave the one that's installed out of the box. So we're at the scene of the crime again. And based off of the video that Josh sent me via text showing me, he teased me. He went, hey, guess what? I got the new bottle and guess what happened? And then he just left a pause and didn't say anything. And I'm like, well, did it break? Because if it does break, it might be pretty good content. And then he was like, nope, it didn't break. And he sends me a clip of him dropping it and nothing happened. So here we go. 3 empty, 3 full, passes all 6 of those drops. It gets the CARSWITHKEAV seal of approval. And then we go on to see how durable it is because we have so many bottles, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's got a little more bounce to it. It definitely absorbs impact a lot better. But the fact that it's kind of, it is a translucent bottle, more clear. It's got like a ghosted paint. Yes, 5 those easily. So you can see the clear coming right through there. It's just like a ghosted paint. So we're at the 1,000 milliliter mark. 3 full drops. Hey, you hear her? You hear it. It has a thud. The quick connect isn't popping off, which is good. It's holding. Good job, MJJC. You have the CARSWITHKEAV seal of approval. You can see the beat up marks, the scuffs, the scratches, you know, in that paint. But we are fully functional. We are not leaking at all. We are not leaking from the top either. Now for the fun part, let's go up there. I'm getting too old for this, but I built a pathway here. So I actually stand here and I cut these bushes. That's the whole reason that walkway is there. 15 feet, give or take. Let me make sure I drop it in frame. Holy crap, it worked. So I brought this camera further out so you can see me drop it even higher. I thought it survived, but it actually did it. You can see that the quick connect is much lower on this side than this side. It distorted the quick connect area and it kind of, this forced itself and pulled itself so much that it created a crack right here. It's leaking out of this crack right here. Man, too bad. But the thing is, this isn't damage that would stop you from using this. It still works this way. You just are gonna leak from the top like any other normal foam cannon because it's still super strong. It's not like I can't continue to break it. Nice, MJJC, nice. Now, why wasn't this the original bottle? So there you go. And with the new MJJC, you don't have to worry about dropping them anymore. We know it's going to survive those drops. Obviously, you can still break if you drop it from 18 feet. And is it the best foam can on the market? Absolutely, in my opinion. MJJC is the only place that I really guarantee that you're going to get the new bottle. There could be some stuff out there in Google. When you search around websites, discounts, cheaper ones, those are probably the old bottle. I cannot guarantee that. When Josh V gets them in on his DTLR website, the link's below as well. The link below for MJJC, code CARSWITHKEAV will save you 10% on those. And 2 questions, MJJC. Why was this not the first bottle? What happened? Nobody's ever said what happened. Manufacturing issue? How was it that fragile and it got beyond, you know, QA? Who didn't do their job? New bottle, amazing job. Well done on that. 6 months later, but at least you didn't throw out just something. You figured it out. You changed it up. No O-rings. You got that all figured out. 2, 110 bucks in this market. Is it worth 110 bucks? I don't know. I don't think so. It depends on who you are. If you're wanting to save money, 110 bucks is a lot of money to spend on one foam can. We can buy 3 over there, 3 Rain Covos. All right. I'll leave it in the link in the description for that one as well. It's still, to me, the ultimate, my favorite budget foam can. This is the best foam can in period. I'll be using it. That's all there is to it. Sorry, guys. Contemplating if that's worth $110, that's the hard part. Plus, you have to order more to get the free shipping. Because if you don't, it's going to wind up costing you 125, 130 bucks to get the foam can. That's even worse. So maybe wait until it gets on Amazon. I'll put a link below when it gets there. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to links below for anything in the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Whoa! Every time I take that off, I always wind up slipping back and I pull that trigger back like an idiot. You should see me reel the hose in on the retractable hose reel sometimes when it's dragging on the floor. Like a fire hose going like crazy. Dang it. It got me wet. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Water all over me. You just don't get the rinse off that you'd be like, oh my gosh. I'll tell you using a I can't. I'll tell you using a Ryobi. But the good thing about these is we don't have to worry about hit the camera. One thing you don't have to worry about with these is you don't have to worry about them breaking. You know that the bottle is durable. Oh my gosh, did I back in? I backed into it. That's what she said.